Hey everybody, this is social distancing workout number 9, and you're going to be doing in A and B section a leg focused movement or lower body movement, a core focused movement, and then an upper body focused movement. So in section A you're doing 16 curtsy lunges, so 8 on each leg, 16 hollow body rocks, and 16 steps of weighted plank walk. And you're doing 3 rounds of that. In the B section, you're doing 3 rounds with 15 broad jumps, so you're focusing on how far out you can jump, 30-foot weighted supine rotations, which just basically means it's a Russian twist, except that your feet are loaded. And then you're doing a plank with your right and left arm reaching up, your right arm and your left leg reaching up at the same time. So it's like a diagonal line that you're creating, and you're doing 10 on each side. So a total of 20 of those. And the weighted rotation Russian twist was 30 reps. And then the last section is you're doing the box pistols. So you could use a sturdy bench if you don't have a box, or a sturdy chair. And you're focusing on creating the stimulation to start getting closer to being able to do pistols on the ground. So the box will elevate you and make it a little bit easier. You're doing 8 on each leg. I should add that. I'm gonna add that into this. But you're doing 8 on each leg of the box pistols. You're doing 3 by 30 to 40 seconds, depending on your strength. Go to your own personal limit on the diamond push-up hold. So get to the bottom of your diamond push-up. And then you're doing 3 by 10 on each side of renegade row to side plank. Make sure you choose a weight that feels challenging for that side plank arm lift. And then as soon as you finish 3 rounds of those 3 movements, then you have a cash out, which means that you're only doing it one time. And you're doing 15 vertical jumps, 15 no push-up burpees to deadlift. Make sure you're using significant weight for the deadlift, otherwise it's not going to feel very challenging or stimulate any strength change. And then 15 push-ups to mountain climber. So you do a push-up, nose touches the ground, and then you do right and left knee come in towards your chest, and then repeat, push-up to mountain climber. You're doing 15 total of that. All right, in the curtsy lunge, you want to be making sure that you're moving sideways in the lunge, so not just stepping back, but trying to get your back foot pretty close to being more in line with your front foot than a traditional lunge. So you're feeling more in your glutes. Hollow body rock, you want to try to keep your legs straight and drive out of your hips, and then try to put the brakes on using your abs. Notice that my arms stay behind my ears pretty much the whole time, which makes it a lot harder. The plank walk, you just want to focus on pulling the dumbbells with straight arms across the floor. Make sure you're using enough weight for this, otherwise it won't feel very difficult. And the feet are just kind of sliding one at a time as the dumbbells move forward.
Go.
In the broad jump, you just want to make sure that you're using hip power and your arms to get you to travel as far forward as possible. So not focusing on vertical height, but instead on how far you can jump out. The weighted feet Russian twist, the feet are just loaded by something. You could put any heavy object or just link your feet around, and you're just trying to stay in that 45-degree angle as you rotate. Make sure your entire trunk is twisting, not just the dumbbell moving. Here, you're in a plank and you're elevating, bringing your right arm up at the same time as your opposite leg, and vice versa. If you want to make this harder, you could use a light weight in the hand that you're lifting. And you could potentially add time. So instead of making it 1 second, make it a little bit longer. Here, this is basically a pistol, but it's a little bit easier than doing it on the floor because that bottom leg does not have to be elevated above the box line. So you want to try to get your butt to the same level as your knee as you go down. Here is a diamond push-up hold. So you want to make sure that your thumb and your pointer fingers are pretty close together. And you don't want to allow yourself to let your shoulders rock too far forward. Here I'm demonstrating my shoulder is at the same line as my elbow. Here is a renegade row into a side plank. So you'll alternate the side that you lift first so that you always end up alternating the arm that's lifting up above you in the side plank. Make sure everything turns, your hips, your feet, your chest, everything. Now, vertical jumps, just make sure you're not just bunny hopping. You want to focus on maximizing height as opposed to the other thing, which was a broad jump where you're maximizing distance. Here you're jumping back into a plank. Make sure that you don't arch your back when you land in the plank, and you're trying to jump between the dumbbells as you stand up and do the deadlift. Notice that my chest is up before I start lifting and my gaze is forward. Here is the last thing, a push-up into a mountain climber. So each time you complete the push-up, nose touches the ground, you come up and you do a quick right-left knee.